We are heading out from the Marguerite Valley.
Marguerite Forks, Marguerite Valley,
Marguerite
Center, East Marguerite,
yeah,
Northeast
all the
Marguerite, Southwest Marguerite, Marguerite Harbour, East and Southwest.
And we're heading out towards Louisbourg, which I think will be an interesting day out. We have the fort of Louisbourg, which is a recent reconstruction of an old French fort, because the French and the British were having a bit of a fracas at the time. The British didn't really want the French around, so they pretty well knocked it down. To reconstruct the history, they've actually reconstructed the whole fort of Louisbourg. So we're going to have a quick look around and see what it is like. In 1961, the Government of Canada began a project to reconstruct Louisbourg as it might have appeared in the year of 1741. Much of it being destroyed by the British shortly after the 1740s, and lay ruined from that time. Around every corner there was something new to discover. This is a French colony, and indeed there's a lot of French influence in the way that they've organised things here. For example, this garden here is got 4 plots, and it's remarkable how many times you see this whole system reoccurring. Like any community of that period, farming would have been the most important aspect in the lives of the people who lived here. I first came to Louisbourg in the early 1980s, over 30 years ago, and much of it has not changed. And in the summertime there are lots of people who are acting out a day in the 1740s. But that's in the height of summer and the tourist season. We're visiting at the beginning of November, and of course everything is closed. It doesn't stop us from looking in through the windows. So Louisbourg would have been a centre for trade and commerce for several years, and this bay would have been crowded with ships from the West Indies, America, France of course, and maybe England was trading here as well. But all this commerce and farming and trading and what have you had to be defended, not forgetting that Britain and France were at loggerheads under the ownership of Canada. You could almost imagine the sound of the soldiers marching. By the governor's residence here, you'd have had a battalion of soldiers living in very basic conditions. Just outside the front door of the governor's house is the guard room, and even here conditions were not particularly good. Looking over the harbour are the ramparts, where the cannons were looking out to sea to defend Louisbourg from any kind of attack from seaward. This would have been the magazine at one time, and this would have kept the gunpowder and ammunition dry and safe from attack. And the next building along would have been the barracks for the battalion of soldiers who would be manning the guns. And it's all very basic stuff, it would seem. So this was Louisbourg, destroyed by the British and rebuilt by the Canadian government starting in the 1960s.